It's bipartisan corruption, when it's a bipartisan consensus around self-dealing and self-enrichment. And that's what we have here.
It's clear there's plenty of self-dealing and self-enrichment, but who are the worst offenders? Congressman Gates offered to take us on a tour.
So one of the committees where people have a lot of information is the Appropriations Committee, because they can view almost any vector of government funding. And so, you know, this is Mr. Rutherford's office. He's on the Ethics Committee and the Appropriations Committee. 152 stock trades. Stocks go through the roof. And, actually bought Raytheon stock the day that Russia invaded Ukraine.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if every American could make money off of war.
Yeah, setting aside the whole shame and ethics questions.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't know if you have seen this. Speaker Johnson's speech at Columbia University is getting drowned out by boos from students on campus. That is not the ending.
Thank you all for being here today. We have several members of Congress here, and we're here today and the Jewish leader, Gershom Shashis, knew the self-evident truth that was at the heart of this country.
When future historians go searching for the final nail in the U.S. coffin, they may well settle on the date April 20th, 2024. On that day, Congress passed legislation to fund 2.5 wars, hand what's left of our privacy over to the CIA and the NSA, and give the U.S. President the power to shut down whatever part of the internet he disagrees with. The U.S. and its allies have already sent over $300 billion to Ukraine, and the country is still losing its war with Russia.
Yes, this video clearly exposes what exactly is happening. When you take a look at this tweet on portraying Speaker Johnson's in stunning new monologue, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is reported to have bragged to his colleagues about how easily Speaker Johnson gave Democrats everything they wanted and asked for nothing in return. In the worst example of bipartisanship, Johnson reached across the aisle, stifted the Republican majority, and that elected him Speaker, and pushed through a massive gift to the corporate welfare state after the House voted to send another $60 billion to notoriously corrupt Ukraine. Members with Ukrainian flags on the House floor and chanted, "Ukraine, Ukraine." Why I find it distasteful and disgusting in some ways, it seems fitting. It is important we take an exclusive look. Let me play this video so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. But before I do, if you are not subscribed to this channel, please endeavor to do that. It will do you no harm if you share out this video.
When future historians go searching for the final nail in the U.S. coffin, they may well settle on the date April 20th, 2024. On that day, Congress passed legislation to fund 2.5 wars, hand what's left of our privacy over to the CIA and the NSA, and give the U.S. President the power to shut down whatever part of the internet he disagrees with. The U.S. and its allies have already sent over $300 billion to Ukraine, and the country is still losing its war with Russia. Nobody believes another $60 billion will pull a victory from the jaws of defeat. But this additional money is meant to keep up appearances until November at the expense of Americans who are forced to pay for it and Ukrainians who are forced to pay for it. Speaker Johnson could not have passed these monstrosities without the full support of House Democrats. And as the majority of Republicans voted against more money for Ukraine. So in the worst example of bipartisanship, Johnson reached across the aisle, stiffed the Republican majority that elected him Speaker, and pushed through a massive gift to the warfare corporate welfare state. After the House voted to send another $60 billion to notoriously corrupt Ukraine, members waved Ukrainian flags on the House floor and chanted, "Ukraine, Ukraine."
There are two things at work here. One is obviously the domestic angle, essentially transferring cash from the government to the supporters of the people, the donors to the campaigns of the people that voted for the legislation. Effectively standing up and waving the Ukrainian flag as a signal that I got your message, received your re-election campaign contribution, much appreciated. That's about it. As far as Ukraine is concerned, whatever shows up to Ukraine, as Ambassador Burns and the CIA pointed out some time ago, most of it will disappear into bank accounts around the world for Mr. Zelensky and his little band of men who have been robbing the place blind since they came into power. In the United States, it's a matter of what do we do next? We don't seem to think that there are either limits to our interests or to our resources. And that's untrue. We're exhausting our resources. Everyone inside the military understands that. The Defense Department knows it. We don't have much left to fight with at this stage. If we have to go to war, we're in a lot of trouble. So now we've created a second front in the Middle East.
Yes, yesterday something happened. Speaker Mike Johnson's aunt threatened Representative Massey to take down his video of Democrat waving Ukrainian flags on the House floor or face 500 fine. Johnson saw a massive backlash on social media. I think I did a video about it where a lot of people actually reacted. He came after and said he has seen the way people are responding to it. This representative will not pay that fine. That is Mike Johnson responding to that backlash. It was crazy initially. How can you even think of this? This video was everywhere. Why should people take up flags, waving everywhere? When people took videos of it and post on social media, you come and threaten them to take down that video. It was insane. When you take a look at people like Ron Johnson coming out here to criticize Mike Johnson, you should know why this is happening. It is high time Mike Johnson should sit and reflect on what is happening, though a lot of people says he is being backed by Trump. I'm not refusing. When your party is in chaos, you need to sit and reflect, ask yourself what is happening, and try to see or look into what is happening. Now, keeping this aside, I want to appreciate you supporting me on daily basis. I see you. I see your comment. Sometimes I report videos that people are even afraid to put up, but I'll try my best to, do that. If you notice the past few days, the way I report videos has changed. I try to go into something different because I realize when I report these normal things, like I do before, people get offended for reasons I don't get.
The thing about Biden right now,
people, casuals are like, I could get on board with this guy.
Well, also the race baiting shit is a little bit more effective now that they let in 30 million people.
Oh, fair enough.
If you want to talk about the fears of immigration, now people see it. They see the real consequences.